And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're live here on the Iron Thunder Racing Network, Charlotte, North Carolina, with a battle at Charlotte. You look off in the distance. Yes, it is. You see it. It's the red clay by the big speedway, nestled in between Charlotte Motor Speedway and ZMAC Dragway. This is the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Concord, North Carolina. 4/10 of a mile oval here as the Rush Series sets to do battle here at the dirt track. First few cars out on the speedway right now, taking some time. Dave Matson in that 09 machine will be one of the first on the speedway as we take a look at that machine. Brendan Kaluster, who's to the top of the board. Ryan Vargas in the 6 machine. Ryan Vargas goes to the top of the board at 19.51. Dave Matson, second quick so far, 19.64. Sean Bounty, third quick at 19.74. 19.74 as we take a look at the 6th car of Ryan Vargas on the speedway. Bailey Curry now, second quick in that Athens screen printing Chevrolet Camaro, 19.58, a 19.58 with a 4 for Bailey Curry in the 05 machine. They'll have a few laps here to turn their quickest time on the speedway. Bailey Curry now that lap, a 19.43, a 19.434 for Bailey Curry. Sean Bounty jumps up to third quick now, a 19.59, a 19.59 with a 19.599 for Sean Bounty as we continue to watch the 05 of Bailey Curry. Texas made it out of the speedway. And that 05 machine. Ryan Vargas is done with his qualifying time. His quickest time will be a 19.51, 19.51 for Ryan Vargas in the 6 machine. Roger Debold out on the speedway. See that 38 Ford Loco machine. He currently is 4th quick with a 19.60, 19.60 for the 38 of Roger Debold. He'll finish up his lap. Making sure we got stuff settled here. There is a look at Brandon Papatat in the 48 machine. Footwear screen printing on the hood of that machine at Long Island, New York. Habitat right now trying to get the handle on that machine. He is 16th quick at a 20.16. 20.16. If we can find someone else still on the speedway. Brendan Kaluster, who's in that 25 machine. He'll find it outside retaining wall. As he works his way out of corner number 4, he is 8th quickest on the board, 19.71 for the real Kaluster and that Ford Mustang. We'll see the 66 car of John Garrett. That car on the speedway, the Fort Worth screen printing machine out of Tyler, Texas. Garrett right now 18th quick at a 20.52. 20.52. 19 cars have taken time. Bailey Curry, Ryan Vargas, Sean Bounty, Roger Debold, Dave Matson, your top 5. About 20 seconds left here in this qualifying session. If you're tuned in, let us know where you're watching from as qualifying wraps up, and it looks like the No surprise here. The 05 of Bailey Curry going to sit on top of the board. And starting on that outside front row, there'll be 6 of Ryan Vargas. Car's now going to take the grid. We'll walk you through those in just a moment. They're in row number 1. Bailey Curry, quick time on a 19.434. Ryan Vargas will start outside in the second spot. Inside row number 2 will be Sean Bounty. Outside will be Roger Debold. Starting 5th, Dave Matson and Inman Motorsports Machine. Corey Deal will start in the 6th spot. 7th will be Tressenot. 8th, Brendan Kluserhus. Raymond Rittenauer will start 9th. 10th will be Matt Cherry. Adam Schroen 11th. 12th will be Sawyer Ott, league commissioner. Matthew Kluserhus in the 13th spot. 14th will be Josh Ball. Starting 15th, Alex Little. 16th will be Brendan Papatow. 17th starting position will be John Garrett. Kelvin Mosier starts 18th. Bannon Gregory scheduled to start 19th. Josh Cully will bring his Sip and Shine Racing to the grid in the 20th position. Dustin Franklin 21st. 22nd will be Brian Workman. And Matt Quick scheduled to start shotgun on the field in the 23rd spot. Getting ready to roll off the grid now. 100 laps here from the beautiful dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ryan Vargas in the 6th machine, going to start outside of Bailey Curry. This one's going to get interesting. We appreciate you for joining us here on the Iron Thunder Racing Network, and we're getting ready to turn loose the Rush Series, the Athens Screen Printing Rush Series. 100 trips around this 4/10 of a mile oval here in Concord, North Carolina. Truck off the speedway now. Field are going to work their way into turn number 3, 2 by 2, nose to tail. Ryan Vargas, Bailey Curry on the front row. We'll see the green flag from high atop the flag stand. We are green. Off into turn number 1 we go. Bailey Curry, your leader. Outside is going to be Ryan Vargas. They'll both slide up the racetrack. 3rd place car. That'll be the 34th, Sean Bounty. Roger Debold right now riding in 4th. Corey Deal rounds out the top 5. Dave Matson trying to make something work in that middle groove. Ryan Vargas now set in the tire track for the 05 with Bailey Curry. See this track starting to work in the longer we go. Bailey Curry and Ryan Vargas. Ryan Vargas now on the high side as he tries to get something going, and we see cars pretty much in every groove of the racetrack. Let's check back here with Matt Cherry in that 5 machine. We see Matt Cherry up there. He's in a battle now with the 15 of Tressenot and the 25 of Brendan Klusterhoof. Ott brothers. Oh, Dave Matson going to hang it out there. Looks like he's going to be able to gather it back in and keep that machine under control. Matson tries to hold on to that 6th spot. Back to the front, we'll see Bailey Curry. He can get them done here on these dirt tracks. He's already jumped out to a lead here of about almost a second over Ryan Vargas. And Bailey Curry's car having some connection issues. We'll keep an eye on that. Matt Cherry now with the biggest movers in the field so far tonight in that 5 machine. They'll fight the racetrack. The racetrack, now you start to see it change colors. The rubber getting laid down, moisture evaporating from the speedway. The racetrack will constantly change all night long. And you'll notice the track is starting to take a little rubber once it starts to blacken up. You already see the moisture right now is definitely at the top of the speedway. You see in 3 and 4, you see that high line right there by the car went off the wall. Very different right now in turns 1 and 2. Bailey Curry going to have to work the back of the field. Dustin Franklin just ahead of him of the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer, who is struggling on that outside, trying to stay off of the outside retaining wall. The track definitely widening out in 3 and 4. And we see some widening of the speedway down in turns 1 and 2 as well. Bailey Curry able to navigate the 47 of Dustin Franklin. Curry has just put 10 laps on the board here. And a shout out so far to these drivers for putting on a great show. There's another look at the 6 of Ryan Vargas as he'll try to get around that 47 of Franklin. Out of turn number 4, he'll get that car out in front of Franklin. Now he'll try to run down Bailey Curry machine. The Red Bull ride of Josh Ball down at 88 machine, now in danger of going down a lap. Josh Ball scored in the 18th spot. Take a look back to the 14th spot of Josh Cully. That car missing the whole front end of that machine. And he's still one of the biggest movers out on the speedway, up 6 positions from the drop of the green flag. Currently scored in the 14th spot. Take a look at the Athens screen printing number 35 machine of Sawyer Ott. He's the biggest mover inside our top 10. He's up 4 spots for the drop of the green flag in his Mustang GT. Like Kelvin Mosier had a little bit of trouble there down in the infield portion of the speedway. Back up front to your leader, a 2.2 second gap now between he and Ryan Vargas. Take a look at Roger Debold as he gets around slower traffic to the 88 of Josh Ball. Got one stop, looks like he's moving 33. Josh Cully. Oh, Kelvin Mosier.
Caution, yellow flag.
Finally get a caution out of that. Josh Cully involved in an incident here. Take a look at the replay for Cully. Looks like Cully just got deep in there, took John Garrett up the racetrack with him. And then he's trying to wait on the caution. Dustin Franklin will get away from the 42 of Kaluster, who's trying to get that car spun around in the right direction. And nowhere to go for Kelvin Mosier or the 9 of Adam Schroen. And Schroen's car looked fairly clean up until that caution. But first caution of the night out here for... We are already quickly 1 to go. 18 laps on the board of 183 laps. We'll make up the distance here.
We're not going green. Not going green.
Looks like the yellow, the restart has been called off. It is Bailey Curry, Ryan Vargas, Sean Bounty, Roger Debold, Corey Deal, Dave Matson, Matt Cherry, Sawyer Ott, Brendan Klusterhuis, and Tresson Ott your top 10. Alrighty, we'll take it down the back straightaway one more time. Vargas, Curry on the front row. Curry going to lick to the outside for the restart. That'll put Roger Debold inside row number 2. Outside of the 34, Sean Bounty. Green flag back in the air. Bounty now going to look outside of that 6 of Vargas. Vargas able to get the pull off down the back straightaway. Sean Bounty back to 3rd. 4th going to be the 34, Sean Bounty. Corey Deal, Roger Debold back here. Battling out Sawyer on the binders to stay off of that 56 of Corey Deal. Going to give Dave Matson some momentum on that high side as they work their way into turns 1 and 2. Matt Cherry up the racetrack, contact outside the retaining wall. Back here up front, cheerleader, the 05 of Bailey Curry. Saw a charge from Ryan Vargas. He's defended that off. And able to get away about a car length. They'll stretch it out to 4 now into turn number 3. You see turns 3 and 4, that cushion all the way up to the outside retaining wall. Jumping that cushion was affiliated Roger Debold. Not quite as far up in the entrance of 1, but pretty much the same in 3 and 4 as we have it over here in turn number 2. Entrance of 3 and 4 starting to take some rubber. You're starting to see some rubber laid down on the entrance of 3 and 4. Contact. Sean Bounty, Roger Debold. Debold loses 2 spots and Bounty loses 2 spots. Roger Debold threw it off into turn number 1 and got that car way out of shape. And Roger right now, about the only one I can see pretty much dedicated to the bottom of the speedway. Down in turns 1 and 2, almost down into the grass here. Roger Debold trying to make that bottom side work. As everybody else running middle to high groove. Ryan Vargas still running in that 2nd spot. Trying to run down and reel in the 05 of Bailey Curry. Here in the Iron Thunder Racing League. When it comes to dirt track racing, Bailey Curry knows how to get it done. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night. Fort Worth Screen Printing Premier Series of the Iron Thunder Racing League. Bring the next gen cars right back here in the beautiful 4/10 of a mile oval nestled here in Concord, North Carolina. As you see the dragway off in the distance, that is out of turns 3 and 4. Off in the distance in 1 and 2, Charlotte Motor Speedway. .29 laps now fixed to go up on the board. Little Bailey Curry, and he's led since the drop of the green flag. We appreciate you for tuning in here to the Iron Thunder Racing Network. Curry, your leader. We'll take a look now at the 6 of Ryan Vargas as he puts his Chevrolet Camaro out on the high side. He'll be trailed by the 34, Sean Bounty. The Bounty Hunter, Roger Debold, right tucked in right behind Sean Bounty. His 4 Loco 38, he rides in the 4th spot. Rounding out your top 5, this is a Fort Worth screen printing machine of Corey Deal in that 56 car. Running to that 5th spot, Sawyer, Dave Matson in the K&N Filters 09 machine. He currently rides in the 6th spot. Back here in the 7th spot, bouncing off of that outside retaining wall. Over in 3 and 4 is the Athens screen printing Ford Mustang of Sawyer Ott. And not far behind, Brendan the King Klooster, who rides in that 8th spot. Matt Cherry holding on to the 9th spot, and Treston Ott in the CA Cattle Company machine now currently rides in the 10th spot. That's a look at your top 10. Here with 33 of 100 complete. Al Bailey Curry, your leader, working slower traffic. The work underneath the 9 of Adam Strong here as they cross the stripe to put lap 34 on the board. Next car in line is the 43 of Kelvin Mosier. He'll have to work his way around him as he's just banging the cushion out here in turns 3 and 4. Not really a cushion, so to speak. With some of that loose dirt thrown up there against the wall. Curry having to jump up into those marbles, and he'll tag the outside retaining wall through turns 3 and 4. Let's check and see who the biggest mover so far is. That's going to be Sawyer Ott up 5 spots. He rides in the 7th spot right now. And only 10 cars on the lead lap. Matt Cherry in that 10th spot. Last car on the lead lap. Oh, your leader going to have to navigate out of 42 car. Matthew Kaluster here. Bailey Curry not having to race for position, but race for survival around these slower cars. As he picks them off one at a time, you see he got a good corner there in number 3. Closed a lot of ground on that Lucky Dogs Doggy Daycare 87 Jacob entry of Ray Rittenauer. Trying to hold on to that that Ford Mustang. Rittenauer in a Mustang here in the Rush Series. A big shout out to Athens Screen Printing, sponsor of the 05 of Bailey Curry, sponsor of the Iron Thunder Racing League Rush Series here on Monday nights on the Iron Thunder Racing Network. Work back through the field here. Got a look at Sean Mounty at 34. Mounty has slipped back to the 5th spot. Corey Deal bounces it off the outside retaining wall over in 1 and 2. Kelvin Mosier has that machine bounce it off the retaining wall. Starting to see that entrance to 1 taking on some good rubber there. Track starting to dry out, dust flying up on the beautiful red clay here in Concord at the dirt track in Charlotte Motor Speedway. Leader Bailey Curry, 4.55 second lead over Ryan Vargas, who still holds on to that second spot. Roger Debo rides 3rd, Corey Deal 4th. 5th to be Sean Bounty in the top 5. Battle at Charlotte here for the Iron Thunder Racing League Athens Screen Printing Rush Series. Sean Bounty down on the low side for the 1 and 2. Adam Strong, Brandon Pepitat battling. Looks like trouble. Closter's machine. Kelvin Mosier, Brendan Closter's stayed green. Let's see what happened between those two. Kelvin Mosier entering turns 3 and 4 here. We'll get in the slick stuff. Car totally sideways, overcorrects it, and a nowhere to go for Brendan Kaluster. Josh Cully got into it with your leader there. We'll go back take a look at your leader. There's the 05 machine of Bailey Curry. 4.3 seconds ahead of Ryan Vargas in the 6th machine. Roger Debo still rising that 3rd spot. Sean Bounty, your top 5. Looks like Raymond Rittenauer, the 87 machine, has retired. 39 laps down, scored 22nd. Here's the first car out of the race. Matt Quick did not start. Everybody else still on the speedway. Oh, Bailey Curry gets hard into the outside wall. Pancakes it. As he makes his way around the 48 of Papacat. .7 seconds back is Vargas. Vargas on the bottom of the speedway. Track ever changing lap by lap. And speaking of lap, Bailey Curry getting ready to put lap 54 up on the board. Big jump and a hit there from 15. Trusted on. Trying to hold on to that machine. Look at your leader, Bailey Curry. We continue to rock and roll. 55 laps on the board. 46 to go. One caution so far. Oh, goodness. Look away from the screen for just a moment. Your leader involved in a crash. Kelvin Mosier. That's allowed Ryan Vargas to get by, but let's take a look at that replay real quick. Like Mosier has trouble in turn number 4. Nowhere to go for Roger Debold. That didn't involve our leader. Go back to what happened with our leader. Replay on your leader. Works his way down the back straightaway. Adam Strong just ahead. 16 Alex Little. It's like Dave Matson was already stopped down on the bottom of the speedway. A lot still happening as we try to unpack this. We are still green. Dave Matson already around. The 42 of Klusterhuis was trying to work his way through the middle, and Bailey Curry came in and tagged that machine. And now Bailey Curry back to the 3rd spot. 5.7 seconds ahead of Ryan Vargas, who inherited that lead. 61 of 100 now. Bailey Curry has some work to do now. Not only will we have to fight slower cars and the racetrack, but now he'll have to try to find the speed to get back up in front of the Ryan Vargas machine. Curry going into turn 1, Vargas entering the back straightaway. About half the straightaway back from the 38 of Roger Debold. See how hard Bailey Curry pushes this car. See second place of Debold. Next car ahead of the 05 of Bailey Curry as Debo works under the 66 of John Garrett. Only 6 cars on the lead lap. Cherry right there in the 8th spot, one lap down. Oh, big one. 33
The yellow flag is out.
of Josh Cully. That'll bring out the caution. Matt Cherry was involved. And we'll take a look and see exactly what went down for Matt Cherry. Second caution tonight is out. 33 of Josh Cully had spun already. .33 got crossed up by the 9 of Adam Strong. Cherry chose the top side and did not have anywhere to go. Cherry on pit road.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
Getting the restart this time. It'll be the 6 of Ryan Vargas outside of the front row. It'll be the 38 of Roger Diebold. .68 of 100 on the board now. 33 to go. Second caution of the night. Pace truck is off. And we're going to get back to green. Ryan Vargas back on the hammer.
Green flag, green flag.
Bailey Curry going to try to shed that 38 of Roger Diebold as they move off now into turns 1 and 2. Diebold and Curry up the speedway. That's going to give a power move on the bottom of the speedway now by the 34, Sean Bounty. He's able to pull in that third spot. 05 Bailey Curry, high, wide, Hanson on the speedway, 3 wide at a turn number 4. Curry in that runner-up spot now as he works the top side of the speedway through turns 1 and 2. Battle for the third spot, Roger Diebold, 34, Sean Bounty. Vargas to the top through 3 and 4. To the bottom goes Curry. Curry out of turn number 4. The 6 of Brian Vargas will take the momentum on the high side. And they'll flip-flop over in turns 1 and 2. Vargas to the bottom. Bailey Curry to the top. Caution flag out on the speedway. Third caution of the night. Looks like it involved Adam Schroen. Excuse me. 16 of Alex Little. Little riding the top side. Oh, Adam Schroen will come up and grab him. And the 15 of Tress and I know where to go for that machine. Third caution of the night. Going out of Dave Matz, so go get the free pass here. And we'll go back to 8 cars on the lead lap. And we'll see Ryan Vargas where he chooses to go back to green here. We'll see if the top side is going to prevail, or if the bottom side will produce a winner here. The majority of 1 and 2 right there, especially entering turn number 1, completely rubbered up. You see the rubber taking on the speedway here through 3 and 4. Vargas back on the gas, and we're back green.
Green, green, green.
Eddie Curry not the restarting one. He slips back to the 3rd spot. He goes right to the top of the speedway, rim riding against the wall. Roger Debo slides into that runner-up spot. Vargas to the top side. 05 of Bailey Curry. Yep, riding through turns 3 and 4. 38 of Roger Debo committed to the bottom of the speedway. You can see the momentum Bailey Curry has off of the top side. Curry just can't quite seem to keep that car turned. Looks like he's using the aid of the outside retaining wall over in 3 and 4 to turn that car for him. And that's all fine and well until those incident points gather up, and that car could be disqualified for too many incidents. As tonight, those incident limits have been increased just for the nature of dirt track racing. And these cars definitely not made for dirt, but they are actually doing a pretty good job here. It'll be interesting to watch tomorrow night how those next gen cars perform on the red clay of Charlotte dirt track. Curry set the pace early, got wrapped up in a wreck over in turns 3 and 4, dropped him back to the 3rd spot. Got a caution to his favor. He's able to now ride in that runner-up spot. Can't quite make any ground on the 6 of Vargas. Car, I heard him talk on the radio prior to the last restart. The toe may be knocked out on that 05 machine. The steering wheel a little off from where he started, not quite centered. So may have a little bit of toe out on that machine or in as he smacks the ball hard over in turn number 3. That'll allow Vargas to pad that lead just a little bit. Roger Debo still holding on to that 3rd spot. Oh, Vargas jumps the cushion. He'll smack the wall hard. Bailey Curry over corrects out of turn number 4. Now Curry right back down to the bottom of the speedway through turns 1 and 2. Vargas on the high side. High side hustling in that 6 machine. Through turns 3 and 4, letting the rear end step out of that car. Bailey Curry has gone to the bottom of the speedway. Pretty much black all the way down as far as you can run over in 1 and 2. A little bit of moisture left on the speedway down in turns 3 and 4. Bailey Curry goes right back to the top of the racetrack. A 1.3 second advantage for the 6 of Vargas. Roger Debo rides 3rd. We'll take a look at 4th place runner 56 Corey Deal. That Fort Worth screen printing car. Back to the 5th spot of Sean Bounty. 34 machine. Sawyer Ott rides in the 6th spot. Dave Matson up to the 7th spot now. The 5 of Matt Cherry stopped.
Caution, yellow flag.
Top of the high side, excuse me. turn number 1, and that brings the caution out. That car was nosed in to the inside, or excuse me, to the outside wall. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened to the 5 of Max here. Hard into the outside wall. That car goes around down in the top of turn number 1. Mosier had a little bit of trouble there right in front of the leader. We'll see what happened to the Mosier machine as the caution was coming out. Oh, that car just pushes up to the outside wall. He turns it into the infield. Workman had trouble as well. We'll take a look at what happened to the 74 of Brian Workman. Looks like that machine just comes back on the pit road. So Bailey Curry going to close the gap via the yellow flag. Ryan Vargas in the 6 to lead them back. Vargas, a full-time NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, driving the 6 Camaro for JD Motorsports. Bailey Curry, full-time Xfinity driver as well. 05 machine, running that 2nd spot. Down to 9 laps to go. Slider now. Bailey Curry and Ryan Vargas. Vargas way at the racetrack. Curry bouncing off that outside wall. 3 wide momentarily. They'll go side by side for the top spot into turns 3 and 4. Here comes Corey Deal. Roger Devo going to slip out to the lead. Momentum on that high side for the 05 of Bailey Curry. Curry rim ride out of turn number 2 now. You'll see the biggest lead so far since the drop of the green here on that restart. Vargas will get loose out of turn number 4. Bailey Curry starts to pull away. Down to 6 laps to go. Corey Deal trying to make something happen now. Roger Debo been dedicated to that bottom of the speedway for most of the night. He stays on the bottom. Bailey Curry, 5 to go. Battle right now is on for that runner-up spot. Roger Debo to the bottom. To the high side, the 6 of Vargas. Pretty much dead even down the back straightaway. Corey Deal trying to steal it from both of them. Vargas not getting off of turn number 4 quite like he wants to. That car starts to back into that machine. Starts to step out. Corey Deal with trouble. He'll contact with the 34 of Sean Bounty. Bailey Curry still leading, bouncing it off that outside wall. 3 to go for Bailey Curry. They're still battling out for that runner-up spot. On the bottom, Roger Debo to the outside, the 6 of Vargas. Bailey Curry stretching it out. Popsicle sticks out of the flag stand. 2 to go for Curry. Curry gonna have to battle around the 25 of Brendan Kloosterhoek. Lap traffic scattered ahead in front of the 05 of Bailey Curry. Vargas still loose off now. Second spot. Gonna go to Roger Debold. As Bailey Curry will work one more time down the back straightaway. Through turns 3 and 4, he'll work the middle of the speedway. Dustin Franklin trouble in front of him. He'll navigate to the outside. The battle in Charlotte goes to Bailey Curry. Roger Debold rides in that second spot. Third on the speedway, Ryan Vargas in the 6th machine. Good race here tonight from Charlotte Dirt Track. Bailey Curry had to work for this one, and work he did. He put that Athens screen printing machine in victory lane. And we'll work on getting that top 3 up in the booth here for an interview before we wrap up tonight's action here on the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Don't see Vargas in the Discord. So we'll see if we can get Vargas in the Discord, but while we wait for that, give me one more second here. We'll see the celebration. We'll see if we can get take a look at the Four Loco 38. Well, we'll start with Roger Debold. Maybe we can get Vargas in here before the end of the interviews. We'll start it off with Roger Debold. Alrighty, we'll start with Roger Debold while we wait and see if we can get Vargas in here. But hey, man, you guys put on a show. We saw you kind of committed to that bottom, and about where the only moisture that was left on the speedway, and you were able to make it work for you there on the bottom, man. Congratulations on bringing this bad boy home in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was tough. I was just trying to keep it going straight the whole time, and Bailey and Ryan are saying, "Man, you're pretty fast," and I was like, "Man, I'm just trying to keep it going forward instead of wrecking." So, yeah, the only place I could really get it to cooperate was all the way down on the bottom where there was still a little bit of clean track. I mean, it was pretty tore up through the middle, and then the cushion was all the way up against the wall, so you couldn't really. I mean, I don't know how they were making the top work. I tried it, and every time I tried it, I'd end up in the wall, and it was pretty intense. I think I blinked like 3 times during that whole race. I sitting there, I was like, man, my eyes are burning for some reason. I was like, oh man, I forgot to blink. Hold on. So, but yeah, I asked Ryan. Ryan said he is not in the Discord at the moment. So, but yeah, it was fun. It's fun racing them.
It was definitely, started the race, clean track. Saw cars jump up to the top really quick. But it seemed like we did see a few people running the bottom with you, but it didn't last too long. Everybody kind of migrated at the racetrack, so which kind of worked out to your advantage too, because the less people running down there, the less that track gets used up. And being the bottom of the speedway, normally if it's the top side, that's where you have a problem because you got the loose dirt, marbles. You need somebody up there to help clean it off. But being at the bottom, you're able to use that to your advantage. It was definitely fun to watch, and that last restart there was definitely interesting, man. Congratulations once again, and look forward to talking to you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. And congrats to Bailey on the win. And yeah, it was a heck of a race. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. It definitely felt like tight racing that last restart, but I mean, I'm just running a single screen. I couldn't see. I knew they were up there battling each other, and I was like, I'll just stay to the bottom.
Definitely was a fun one, man. Good luck.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, we get ready to bring Bailey Curry up here. And while they try to get Vargas into the Discord, we'll make sure we get him up here if we can. But while we're waiting, we'll bring up Bailey Curry in that 05 machine and started out on a blistering pace in the Athens screen printing machine. Got caught up in something that was not your fault, but you had to go to work there and battle Roger and Ryan, and definitely made probably was good for the broadcast for you to go through that unfortunate event there, but kind of made it really interesting, especially that that last restart. You, Roger, and Ryan definitely made the night, putting on the show. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was fun being back in the ITRL. If there's one race I'm going to show up for, it's definitely going to be the dirt races. I love doing these things with the asphalt cars. It's so much fun. Yeah, definitely got a little tough whenever we got turned around there, but we were able to come back. They made it really hard there at the end. The track really blew off on the top. It made it hard to make speed where I feel like I could make speed where others couldn't. But we're able to get it back on that restart through a couple haymakers, and finally was able to hold one off. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Good fun racing with Ryan and Roger there.
And definitely, I love when we come to these dirt tracks, man, because it really shows the driver how much driver's actually in these guys, because the track's changing lap after lap. Some guys you could see they were set, they were going to run one line. You watch Bailey Curry, and he was testing. All right, can I make the bottom work? Can I make the middle work? Can I make the top work? And surprisingly, Roger kind of stuck with it a little bit on the bottom there early, and everybody else quickly started migrating up, which, like I said to him, kind of worked in his advantage, because, being on the bottom of the speedway, you don't get those marbles and nobody else running it, so he had a little bit cleaner of a track, but y'all guys could get so much momentum rolling on that top side.
Yeah, definitely. There was definitely a second there where I could make the bottom work in 3 and 4 a little bit better. I'd run the top 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. But after we got caught up there, I think I got a little bit of wheel damage. My wheel was cocked to the right a little bit, and I just couldn't run it like I used to. I was even trying third gear out, trying to see if I could get a little bit more, a little less wheel speed, a little bit more bite. But just wasn't working out. Ended up going back up there to the top. Like I said, there's nothing left on the top down 3 and 4. You can still make something happen down in 1 and 2 a little bit, but definitely a lot of fun. I love when the track gets blown off like this. Like you said, it makes people have to move around and figure it out.
Most definitely, man. Well, we appreciate you coming back to put on the show for us. And are you gonna make it back tomorrow night?
We're gonna see. That's work depending. If we're in good shape on our Richmond car, I don't see why not.
Alrighty, man. Well, we look forward to it and hope to have you. And if not, good luck at working on those cars and in an Xfinity Series as well. We definitely tune in to see how you're doing there. Congratulations once again on besting these boys here at Charlotte.
Thanks, man.
Alrighty, that'll wrap up interview for Bailey Curry, and we're fixing and got him in the booth. Thank you, whoever put him there. Ryan Vargas joining us. Bailey made you work for it, man. And I tell you what, you two guys put on a hell of a show. Thanks for coming out here and running with us. It was definitely fun to watch up here in the booth. And, talking to Roger and Bailey, these track conditions changing. A lot of these guys, not a lot of experience on dirt, and they had to work for it. And you two guys definitely put on a heck of a show there to end it out.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. I got to drive this Get Wet Sports Chevy with the Charlotte Phoenix on here, the esports group I'm with. It was just a lot of fun. I jumped in this very last second. Bailey told me about this at the shop earlier today. I said, that sounds like fun. And then I don't think I got into the server until there was like 4 minutes left in queue. So I hopped in and somehow qualified second. And sure enough, we were pretty fast. Bailey was obviously the fastest. I think I was just a tick off him. But once I got the lead, I was able to hold on to it pretty good. I think the two areas I folded really were just on the last restart. Instead of going back down to the bottom to protect, I ran the top and kind of opened the door for Bailey. And then the last lap, I just pounded the wall for Roger.
Yeah, we were talking to Bailey. You know, I love it. I'm a dirt track guy myself, and I love when we get a chance to come here in the Iron Thunder Racing League to a dirt track. We get out here on the asphalt. About the only thing that's going to change is the temperature on the racetrack, but the racetrack's pretty much the same. You know what you're going to get, you know, pretty much lap after lap. Here, you come to Charlotte, you put them on the dirt, that racetrack starts changing the moment you roll on the speedway, and it really brings out the driver in these drivers. They've got to, you know, race the racetrack just as much as they race the competitor. And here, being on a 0.4 of a mile oval, not only do you have to race that racetrack, the person you're racing for position, but you're coming up on lap traffic. You guys already got your hands full with the race car, already got your hands full with the competitor. Throw in the racetrack and slower traffic. I don't see how you guys can actually race when you throw all that in. And definitely made for an exciting view up here. I wish we could cover more of it, but you know, there's only one camera we can show, and most of that action, especially there at the end, was you guys up at the front. We saw Roger. He committed to the bottom early, and luckily for him, nobody else really was running the bottom. We saw that rubber starting to take, and we noticed you and Bailey would run the top in 3 and 4, try the bottom in 1 and 2, switch it back and forth over and over again. Just tell us about track conditions and how much you really have to be on top of your game and move around the speedway.
Absolutely. I mean, once it rubbered in, it was just so slick. It was hard to choose which line was better because, you know, you'd run the bottom and it would be about 1/10.5, maybe 0.2 quicker. But you would lose so much momentum. That's why, you know, Roger was able to kind of sneak into the fray there and almost take the lead from Bailey at one point. But on the straightaway, you just carry so much more speed. So it was hard to choose between this top and the bottom. And I don't know what the tire model looks like for this Xfinity car on dirt. So definitely a very intriguing race. I had a ton of fun. I think this was probably one of the more fun kart and track combos I've raced on the service. But it was really fun. Like, once the cushion kind of built up, you almost had to like find that sweet spot between like just dragging your deck lid on the wall essentially and actually hitting it. If you were able to just kind of keep that thing sideways and feed it throttle throughout the entire corner, you had something. So just a lot of fun. This car actually raced very well on here. I had a really good time.
It definitely looked like it was fun up here in the booth, and we're going to bring our Premier Series back here tomorrow, and hopefully maybe we can get Bailey to leave the shop a little bit early and join us, and see if we can get you back as well. You definitely helped put on a show here, and we're glad you took your time out to race with us, and hopefully we can see more of you here in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a real good time. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
You too.
All righty, that's going to wrap it up. That was Ryan Vargas, your third place finisher in the 6th machine, Get Wet Sports. And I want to give a big shout out to Athens Screen Printing for sponsoring us here in the Russ Series. We're going to walk you down right quick and see if we can get the results. Results up on the screen here. Make sure we get the full field. Not quite sure why we're not changing, but we'll. Anyway, Bailey Curry, your winner, followed by Roger Debo, Ryan Vargas. Corey Deal brings home the 4th spot. Sawyer Otten at JCOM Motorsports Machine. He'll get a top 5 finish. Rebel Racing's Sean Bounty in the 6th spot. Eminem Motorsports' Dave Matson finishes in the 7th spot. Tressenot will finish 8th. Brendan Kloosterhuis in the 9th spot. Josh Ball will round out your top 10. Matt Cherry finishes in 11th. Adam Schroen brings home 12th. Dustin Franklin will bring home the 13th spot. John Garrett, 14th. Josh Cully will ride home in the 15th spot. Alex Little, 16th. 17th will be Kelvin Mosier. 18th, Brian Wertman. Manning Gregory brings home 19th. Brendan Pepitat, 20th. 21st will go to Matthew Kloosterhuis. Raymond Rittenauer finishes 23rd or 22nd. Credited with 23rd. Matt Quick, he did not start. But come back tomorrow night. Join us here on the Iron Thunder Racing Network. And we'll come right back here to the dirt track at Charlotte. And we'll see what the Premier Series can do with the next-gen car here on the red clay 4/10 of a mile oval in Concord, North Carolina. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Congratulations once again to Bailey Curry, Roger Debo, Brian Vargas for the podium finish here tonight. The dirt track at Charlotte, Concord, North Carolina. This has been an Iron Thunder Racing Network production. Y'all keep showing up. We'll keep showing out. Good night, everybody.